Elden Ring came out almost 1 year ago, and since its release the game was really acclaimed for the amazing way they implemented the Souls formula in an open world game. People knew that Elden Ring would be leading the board to become the game of the year of 2022. Even though the game is an incredible gaming experience, it's not perfect, but don't get me wrong, I will not be talking the same BS people used to talk in videos of this style. You came here for a reason, I am here for a reason. Let's try to find out which one is the most bored, cheap, repetitive, unfair and graceless boss in the most recent Fromsoftware masterpiece. Get your cheeks ready cause this is the 7 worst boss fights in Elden Ring. I quickly want to mention that I made a little survey on my community tab a few days ago, so the opinion of the people is being considered for this top. And of course my opinion too. If you don't agree with me or my community, you can get that whenever you want. Nah, I'm just joking, please let me know in the comments down below what are the worst Elden Ring bosses for you. If you enjoy my videos, consider subscribing and dropping a like, it will help me a lot. So without anything further to say, let's get started. Number 7. Elden Beast. This boss is probably one of the most controversial here, because many people will consider it one of the best. I don't know why, but they do. The main reason why the final boss is on this top is that Fromsoftware final bosses are amazing. Radagon is absolutely incredible. It's a boss that punishes the most common gameplay mistakes like spamming rolling, trying to run away to heal, getting greedy with the attacks, besides of having a beautiful background music, which from my point of view makes Radagon one of the best Elden Ring bosses. And then we beat him and we find this kind of thing that is not even a beast. I have never seen an animal like this in my life. Elden Beast looks more like a mutant fish with a small head. The music pretends to create some sort of sacred environment, trying to give the sensation that we are fighting a god. Come on man, they could put a run bear in this area and it will be a better fight. Well, maybe not, but you got my point, right? I think Elden Beast combat is not that bad. However, sometimes it runs away, it flies, turns on the lights and sends you a rain of eager what did I say? Sorry. In a nutshell, I put the Elden Beast here cause I was expecting way too much from a final boss, and to me it was a little disappointing. A Radagon third phase would have been totally incredible. I don't know, imagine him combining attacks with Marika against the player, that will be sick, bro. Number 6. Fire Giant. I am really sorry if you have a special love for giant bosses, but this guy right here is an interesting boss fight. It looks amazing, especially in the second phase. It's not really a super hard boss, but it doesn't feel like you are fighting against a giant at all. It's not as imposing as you would expect of a giant. Well, speaking from the gamer perspective, cause if I see something like this dude in real life, I will need new pants, you bet that, guys. However, it's not a fight as epic as you would expect when you find an enemy of this size. If you play with the horse, it feels a lot better, more cinematic with a faster pace, but eventually it will become repetitive. Fire Giant will keep rolling away, you will have to chase him, hit him a few times, then do it 10 more times and you will defeat him finally. For many people this boss is boring, for me it's something similar to Elden Beast, it's like it's not enough. At least this boss is not recycled, which helped him to not take a higher place on this list. Number 5. Astel, Natural Born of the Void, aka the Mexican, according to what this guy said. I don't know what the hell do Mexicans and Astel have in common, but I'm pretty sure not a single part of my body looks like this twisted box, so let's call him Astel. We are seeing this boss in this list for a reason. First of all, it's a recycled boss, as many others in Elden Ring. But many other copy-paste bosses are not a part of one of the biggest and most bored quest lines I have played before in my life. I am not a side quest guy, but even though I have enjoyed many of them, I loved Millicent's and Alexander's, but Rani's one was too long for me, which means that replayability of this boss is not as good as you would like if you enjoyed this boss fight for whatever reason you did. I know the visual show of this fight is really impressive, but once more, the combat lacks of rhythm. Because of the same thing of other bosses, this thing runs away again and again. You run for him and eventually you beat him. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like chasing bosses. I like when bosses make me run away afraid of getting destroyed. When a boss runs away, I feel like I'm fighting a PvP player. The dude runs away the whole match, release one attack and keep running away. It's not fun to me. Bosses that tend to do this technique of running then attacking becomes frustrating to me. Remember that this is mostly my personal experience with this boss. Let me know what you think about Astel, or the Mexican. Do you like this boss fight? Number 4. Commander Niall. I was struggling to choose in which spot I was about to put this clown, cause I truly love hard combats. I really like the hard experience. Well, I like the difficulty, but when it goes straight to a boss that has a meaning for the game, Malenia, Radagon, Maliket, Morgoth, Mog. Mog, what a boss fight is the Kidnapper, I like it. I am not saying Commander Niall doesn't have a good story or a reason to be there, it's just this boss is like a wall, literally, this thing absorbs a lot of damage. But my point is that you have to beat him to access Ordina, which is the entrance to the Haligtree, to be able to fight one of the best boss fights Fromsoftware has created. Malenia. The first 3 months since the game was released, Malenia was trending. Everybody wanted to fight her, to see if she was as hard as people said, and then you realize that the second half of the medallion you need is guarded by this dog. I think Niall won a spot on this top cause it's unfair and unnecessarily hard. The hard part, I like it.
Yeah, boy.
Those extra delayed attacks are so hard to dodge, the summons to make the combat interesting at the beginning, but then it comes the unfair part. He absorbs a lot of damage. He can proc Frostbite easily on the player, deals a super high amount of damage and also deals lightning damage. Besides a super small open window to attack, this boss fight is hard and frustrating, and he's recycled of course. You will find his twin brother on Khalid, but that one is super easy compared to Niall. Hey yo, we have reached the top 3. Let's see what we got here. The deer. The fuck. This thing is just, I don't know, I understand now why a big part of you guys hate the stupid deers. This boss is to me bored. The music is mystic I guess, but it reminds me a lot of Kina. It feels like, I don't know, way too out of context. I have played Elden Ring about 1000 hours and even knowing the meaning of that deer, I don't know, it's a super annoying boss fight. Once again, it's bored. The thing barely has a hitbox. His attacks are for some reason hard to dodge, especially the head push. And of course, the coward thing runs away again and again and again. Oh, and when you think you got him, the very son of a deer starts to heal. I don't have too much to say about this dude, I just don't like him. He's bored, he's a coward, it's impossible to hit him sometimes, and the process to get this boss fight open is bored as well. It's like a cheap copy of lighting the torches in Pharaoh Keep on Dark Souls 3. Number 2. Valiant Gargoyles. If I had $1 for each act of bravery from these two, I would be broken as fuck. These gargoyles are the opposite to Valiant. They are immune to any status effect. They have really small hitboxes and of course they run away frequently. Not as much as the stupid deer, but the first one gargoyle, the one with the sword, is way more annoying than the second. Both can throw a poison attack that slows the pace of the match, creating distance between the player and the boss, which leads us to chase the dumb boss again. As you can see on screen, I am using a club top item, cause the only type of damage that can actually hurt them is the strike, and the club goes bonk. But I discovered that after almost losing my mind trying to finish the fight. Now I can relatively easily beat them, but believe me, this boss fight is one of the most hated in the Elden Ring community. I guess it's because the bad optimization of two bosses in one fight. And talking about it, we go to the first place of this top. The Godskin Duo. Oh, if you think you have had enough of the dudes you find everywhere in the game, Fromsoftware says no, once more, but the double the better. And not enough, you have to kill them at least 3 times. This fight was intended to be the new Ornstein and Smough, can you believe that? The amazing duo boss fight of the first Dark Souls. And it's pretty obvious they tried to do that with this fight, but Actually, it's way too far to be close to the experience Ornstein and Smoke boss fight gave for the community. Sadly, it will be hard for Fromsoftware to surpass the amazing fight that is Ornstein and Smoke. However, what they did with the Godskin duo is the complete opposite to a good boss fight, cause it's repetitive in too many ways. First of all, the boss fight is a late game match, which means that at this point you have seen at least 3 times the Godskin Apostle or the Godskin Noble, and you will maybe expect something new for the duo fight. There is nothing different, neither the AI was changed to work better. The only thing they did was putting them together and make the player kill them at least 3 times, whether 2 times Apostle and 1 Noble, or 2 times Noble and 1 Apostle. The Godskin duo fight could have been an amazing fight, even one of the best in the game, but they didn't care about it. They made this fight copy-pasting the bosses without changing nothing, creating, which is for today, the worst boss fight in Elden Ring. But let's admit something, the soundtrack of this boss fight is absolutely incredible. It's, to me, the best Elden Ring fight song. And that's it guys, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you agree with this curious top, and let me ask you, which one is for you the worst Elden Ring boss?